Hi everyone, I'm Ed with Elemental Healing. Thank you for rejoining me in my quest of talking about feelings. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two very powerful instincts, disgust and love. One of them keeps us safe by creating distance from danger, and the other heals us by drawing us close to safety. Together, they form the boundary and the bridge of human connection. So on our feelings wheel, here is where we have disgust. Here is our love. Our feelings about our feelings are on the outside facing in. So I want you to imagine that there is a group of early human beings that are foraging for food, and one child picks up a piece of meat that's gone sour. The smell hits his nose and the stomach starts to turn. The body recoils. That's disgust. It's the original immune system, the body's way of saying, don't eat that, it could kill you. This reflex saved many lives before we had medicine or microscopes. As everyone was sharing their meal around the same fire, if one person started vomiting or dropped dead because of what they ate, everyone else can deduce that that is toxic and they needed to throw up in order to save their own lives, which is why we have sympathetic vomiting. And morning sickness also ties into this same thing. But survival required much more than just learning we can avoid certain things to stay safe. It required closeness as well. See, the same tribe had to nurse the sick, share the warmth, and care for the infants. And that's where love entered. Oxytocin rising as they huddled by the fire, trusting one another enough to touch, to soothe, to share food again. Disgust protected life, sustained it. See, you can think of them as kind of a push and a pull of evolution. We can repel what harms and embrace what heals. Now, for children, learning clean and safe love is really important. For children, disgust first appears early on with the wrinkled nose of bitter food, the instinctual pullback from foul smells or sticky textures. That's what the body is learning. The body's learning its boundaries. When caregivers honor it, like, you don't like that smell? Let's move away from it. The child then learns, my body's signals matter. But if an adult shames it, stop being picky and don't be rude, then the child's going to ignore bodily wisdom. Later in life, that becomes confusion about what feels safe, what feels unsafe, what feels familiar, what feels unfamiliar. So unsafe versus merely unfamiliar becomes a part of a bigger problem. See, love develops through repeated safety. When a parent mirrors delight and makes eye contact with their child and stays calm, oxytocin and serotonin then teach the brain that closeness is good. That's secure attachment. That is the foundation for empathy. In Gottman's Science of Trust, this is the biological rhythm of repair, the moments of disconnection followed by warmth and reconnection. From pathogen to person, modern misfires happen all the time. Because in modern life, disgust reflex can misfire. What once protected us from spoiled food now turns towards people and ideas that feel threatening to our identity. The same facial grimace or the same sensation that we get in our gut that saved us from rotten food and meat can be used as a moral sneer or even prejudice. We see this everywhere today. Politics, social media, and even relationships. When disgust attaches to difference, compassion shuts down. But love, the oxytocin system, can reopen that door. Somatically, disgust times out the gut. It tightens everything up and it narrows the eyes and pulls the body backwards. Love softens the body, widens the gaze, and moves us forward. In rational emotive behavioral therapy, we call this the belief behind the disgust and the this is wrong or disgusting. What is the belief behind this? Well, we can dispute it with curiosity. Is it truly unsafe or is it just uncomfortable? That small cognitive pivot can deactivate the ancient alarm system and help us feel calm. How can we soften the recoil? Well, let's practice. I want you to notice any tension in your stomach or your throat, because that's where disgust often hides. Take a gentle breath in through the nose for 4. Hold for a moment and exhale through your mouth with a sigh, letting your face soften. We can shorten it to a quick sigh. This movement from narrow to open mirrors the polyvagal shift from defense to safety. The vagus nerve sends out the message, it's safe to connect. And you can even place a hand over your chest, as this activates the parasympathetic network through warmth and touch. In biofeedback terms, you'll see coherence increase as heart rhythm soothes, and the body literally measures love as physiological harmony. Healthy repair in a modern society. Well, I once had a client tell me about an argument that she had with her teenage daughter. And the daughter shouted, "You're so disgusting." And then they stormed off. The mother felt that instant recoil, the tight chest, the hot face. But instead of yelling back, she paused, hand on her chest, breathed once, and said, "You're angry, and I still love you." Minutes later, the teen returned crying, and they both hugged. See, disgust turned into connection because one person was staying regulated. That's what repair looks like, a boundary kept, love intact. When I feel that quick jolt of aversion, someone's tone, a smell, or an opinion, I pause. I feel my stomach tighten. That's the body whispering, check for safety. I take a breath. I place my hand over my heart and I ask, is this dangerous or just different? And then curiosity and compassion, they now have space to return. This week, I want you to notice whenever your body recoils. Don't judge it, just name it. Then I want you to breathe into your chest and practice moving from protection to connection. Let disgust remind you to check for harm, and let love remind you that most of life isn't toxic, it's simply human. In our next video, we're going to explore fear and trust, the instincts that kept our ancestors alive and now ask us to build safety from the inside out.